Okay, this is where we left off last time. Now we're going to be working on the nav. So we want it to look something like this. And so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we have is we have this color back here. This is a gold color. And we have a border here. So that's the first thing that we're going to do is put that into our CSS. So we go back into our CSS and that is going to be the nav. So we'll start with the parent first. We need a background color, and that color is going to be gold. So again, we have to go find wherever the HTML color codes is. There we go. So if we take a look at gold, and we always go the wrong way. And there we go. There's gold. So I'll just go ahead and copy this. Control C, Control V, semicolon, and get rid of this uppercase RGB. All right. So the next thing we want to do is we want to put a 2-pixel border here and a 2-pixel border here, but we don't want to put it over here, or it's going to impact how this looks over here. It's going to look like it's not lining up with our header. So we're going to do that by not doing the shortcut. We're going to say that we have because it usually is size, style, color. And that's how the shortcut goes. But now we're just going to type it regular. So we're going to say border width, and that's going to be 2 pixels and 0. So what does that mean? When you do 2, the first one is up and down. The second one is left and right. We don't want a border on left and right. We only want it up and down. That's why we're using the longhand versus the shorthand. So the next thing is the style. So that's border style. And that's going to be just a solid line. So we could do dashed, we could do dotted, but we're going to do solid. And then we have a border color. There we go, border color. And we could type black. That would work because I've seen it normal times when people are doing borders, they can type black. Or we could do RGB 0, 0, 0. It's the same thing. Both, I think, are right. This is probably more right because we want to be using RGBs. The other thing I might do is type gold out here, then select that text, hold down my control key and press slash so that later on when I'm looking for gold, if I don't remember what the hex code is, then I can go ahead and use that. All right, so let's do a file, save all, and see what's going on. Whoop, not that one. Not that one. I got enough windows open here. It's back with color codes. And then refresh, and you can see now it's that gold color. We notice we have some bullets here. We have some of that. We also have some issues. If I right mouse click and then inspect, we're going to see that inside our nav we have a UL. And if we take a look at the UL, we can see that it has all this margin in there. And then we have all this padding here. So the margin is up and down, and that's fine because we want that space there. But I don't want the padding. The padding is bringing this in because that's normally how we do bullets. But I don't want to have that. So what I'm going to do then is go into my CSS, and I'm going to say nav UL and say padding. Oops, not padding left. I hate when it does that. 0. Again, we don't put the pixels on there. All right, and then file, save all, and then refresh. And now our bullets are out here. But we're going to get rid of the bullets. But if I wanted to get rid of the bullets, there's a couple of ways I can do it. One is I can go ahead and say I do not want to have those bullets there. I forget that list style. I can do list style none. So let's just go ahead for grins. I'll do list style none, and then do file, save all, and then refresh. And now they're gone, right? But I didn't need to do that. So if I get rid of this, because that's not what I did in the thing, instead, I'm going to be done with my UL. I'm going to move on to my nav UL LI, because one of the magic things that happens is that if right now, a line item is a block level element. That's why you have one on top of the other, no matter how big the container is. But if I change the display to inline block, then do file, save all, and then refresh, boom, they're side by side and the bullets are gone. So whenever you do inline block, magic happens and they're magically gone. So we're going to do this way anyway, so we just go ahead and leave that the way it is. All right, so now that we're done with that, now we're going to go on to the most important thing, and that is these hyperlinks right here. What we want to do is we want to take this and make this into a button, and that's what we're doing. So almost all the styling is going to be done not in the LI, but in the LIA. So this is an anchor tag, and that's what's causing this to be here. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm done with the nav UL LI. Now the most important thing, nav UL LI A. So anchor tags that are inside an LI, that's inside a UL, that's inside the nav. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to display block. And I'm going to do file, save all, and see what happens. Nothing. And they're kind of separated a little bit. Whoa, mission. I got to fix that. All we did really is say that an inline block says that this text in that anchor is the only thing that's hyperlinked. But if I make it a block level element, that means that the entire container of the anchor tag is there. So if I make the container bigger, then I'll have a larger area. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and separate it. We'll add some area. So I'll do padding and I'll say 20 pixels. If I do 20 pixels, just that one number, it means it's going to be 20 pixels top, right, bottom, and left. So save all and refresh. Boom. And you can see now, see how all inside that padding now is hyperlinked. I don't have to click on home. I can click anywhere within inside that button. All right. Then we want to get rid of two things. I don't want it to be blue and I don't want it to be underlined. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. So the underline is a text decoration. So I do text decoration and say none. All right. That will take care of the underline. File, save all, and refresh. Thinking. There it is. It's gone. Next thing I do is I don't want it to be in blue and purple. So I'm going to get rid of the color too. So color, I want it to be black. So RGB, and that's 0, 0, 0. File, save all, and refresh. Okay, so now it's all black. The reason why we can use black is because people are going to know that these are navigation buttons when they turn into buttons, and we don't need the blue to let people know, oh, that's hyperlinked. All right, let's see. We need them to stand out. So instead of being gold, we're going to give them a background color of yellow. So let's go back into our favorite codes. Oh, there's yellow right there. Good. So I'm going to copy that. Control C and Control V, and then get rid of the RGB. RGB. And if you don't like my colors, you can play around, make your own colors. Your instructor's not going to take off points because you didn't have the exact color from the lesson. All right, so now we can see, not much of a button, but you can see a difference there. That is driving me crazy. So let's go into our HTML and mission, M-I-S-S-I-O-N, yeah. File, save all. That's going to drive me crazy every time I see it. All right, then let's see. What's the next thing we need to do is we want to go ahead and put a border around it. So let's do border. And that's going to be a 1 pixel solid black. And again, I could use RGB or the word black in borders. So file and save all. And this is already running too long. So there we go. All right, so looking pretty good. Another problem we have is notice that this home button is much smaller than this membership button. Now we want all the buttons to look the same. So if I go down to membership, which is this one, I can see it's 122.88. Huh. That's interesting. Seems like it should be bigger. Let's see. So 122 and 80. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the width of the LI, and I'm going to make it 122. And then we'll refresh. You can see now they're all the same. All right, and then the next thing I want to do is round them, and we round them using something called a border radius. So border radius, and then we can use percentages or we can use pixels. I like using pixels, it makes it rounder. I'll make it 30 pixels. Once it gets to 50, it won't round anymore. So 50 is the upper limit. Save all and refresh. And there we go, there's our buttons. And we want to go ahead and move these buttons. First of all, I want to make some space above and below, and I want to push these off to the right. So I want to add 10 pixels of margin on either side of these, but 20 pixels on the right side and 0 on the left. All right, so we're going to have to do that with a shortcut. And we'll do that right here. Whoops, that's not right. Yeah, margin. So what I want is 10 pixels above, 10 pixels. I want then the next one is the right. I want that to be 20 pixels. And then the bottom, I want 10 pixels again. And then to the left, I want nothing. All right, we'll do File, Save All, and refresh. And now they're nicely separated. Nice things about these is that when they get a little bit smaller, pain in the neck, and okay, when this gets smaller, they're actually wrap. Look at that. What? Okay, well that's a mess. But say we go down a little bit farther. Come on, there we go. So that's obviously not, but we can see this is going to wrap nicely. So that's what's called flexible design. I don't have to bother with media queries when I'm designing. So the more I can do without media queries, the less complex my solution is. Obviously, we need media queries up there. All right, and what is missing? And I can't think of anything. That looks pretty good. Oh, I know. This text is kind of bland, so what we want to juice it up a little bit. And so let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to do that here because this is text decoration. This is the color of the text. So let's continue with text stuff. The next thing I can do is I can say font, font weight is bold. That'll make it nice and bold. So let's File, Save All, and refresh. You should be doing it the same way I'm doing it, and that is do something, save it, refresh it. That's called the build and test methodology, and it is the fastest way of doing it. If you type a bunch of stuff in and then nothing works correctly, you don't know what of that is not working. And then the font size. So 1 EM is normal font size. That's 16 pixels. We want this slightly bigger. So let's make it 1.5 EM, and that will be 24 pixels. So 16 and 8. All right, let's do File, Save All, and then refresh. Boom. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Ah, see, now we have a problem. Membership is busted out, and that's because I did I didn't do it right. I did the how big is my object? I did that. Let's see. So let's go in here. Well, let's do this. Let's see. I'm going to take this without. File, save all, and refresh. Okay, now it's working, but now I need to go in here into the nav, UL, and there, 172.66. So I want to make this 173. I did it too soon. I needed to do it after I made the text bigger. So go figure that. So you learn something. So this should be let's make it 173. And then I will uncomment this. So I'll select it, hold down my control key, press the slash. Now it's out. File, save all, and refresh. There we go. And you can see it's already starting to wrap. And if we bring it in, you can see, look how nice that is. We don't have to do anything with that. They'll end up stacking one on top of the other when it gets small enough. So, and since this is 173, we only have to worry up to 350 pixels. So these stacked up are going to work out just fine. And now we're on to the next lesson where we mess around with the section, article, and aside.